Hey guys, this is a quick demo that demonstrates how to use um, background images and background colors to get your navigation to overlap, let's say, a header or a hero banner. So I've got a few things set up here. We'll talk about it real quick. I began with my starter file, and I added some things in here. I have got a wrapper. In fact, here, why don't I, for the sake of this, why don't I start from scratch with this? All right, so in here, I have got a basic HTML document. Again, this came from my starter file. I did a save as, and I have already linked it up to a style sheet. Okay. So in here, we're going to build out the basic structure where we've got a div, and we are going to make it a wrapper. In our wrapper, we'll need a few things. We are going to make a header and use that to make our hero banner. We will also make some nav. And in there, we will go ahead and then we'll put in an unordered list. And we'll add some basic list items that will act as our links. So we'll say link 1. Let's do this. All right, cool. So that's the basic structure of the HTML at this point. Let's talk about then how to, oh, actually, hang on. Let's get some content in here as well. I'd like to demonstrate how you're going to need to adjust your content once you get your nav to go up. So let's just make a basic div. For now, I'll call that content just to represent anything that we might have inside of our, content area of our website. So we'll just say content goes here. Okay, cool. So let's make this come to work in our style sheet. So I've just got a few things already set up inside the style sheet. I've already defined the wrapper. I've centered it, and I've given it a width of 1,000. Got a header in here as well. We'll add to that. And I have navigation where I've already given it a background color. Again, using red, green, blue values, and I've given it an opacity of half, so 50% there. And what that looks like right now is really basic. It just looks like this. Okay, so let's get some things in here so that we can make this start to come together. So let's begin with the header. So the header in this case is first and foremost, we're going to want to get a background image in there. Background image. Okay. And let's see, there we go. And ours, hang on a second. URL, there we go. Ours is in an image folder. And we'll use, I believe it's background image 3 for this. Okay. Cool. Now, that background image will not show at this point unless we give that header a height and a width. Background image is not a physical thing like content where it can adjust the height and width. So we are going to give this container a width. It's 1,000 pixels. Oh, let me talk real quick, I guess, about how, in case you don't know, how to find that height and width of an image. So this is the image that we'll use. You can always just in Photoshop go up to image and image size, and it will show you what that height and that width is. That's one way that you can get the value. I'm also going to then give it a height. And what was that? I believe it was 656. There we go. So let's take a look and see what that looks like to begin with. There we go. Cool. So there it is. Next, let's get our navigation under control here. So we'll want to do a few things with that. I've already got the nav itself defined. let's go ahead and address the list items. So I'm actually going to use, I'm going to get them to display inline to begin with. And I'm going to add some padding around them. I'll just put like a 20 pixel padding in here for now. And that is going to at least get them to display like so inline. Next, let's go ahead and get our unordered list together here. I'm actually going to use, I'm going to flex these and get them to space out. I'm going to center them actually. Actually, let's go ahead and do a text align. Set that to center. I'm going to flex them. And the reason why I'm going to flex them is so that I can space them. And I'm going to go ahead and do a space around. Okay, so that should get them to be spaced then. Let's give this a quick look. There we go. Cool. So they are now distributed. They're centered. They're distributed. The padding is now kicking in. That padding is ultimately what's determining the height then as well with this. But now let's get this to now move up and over our header image, or header container really. I'm going to do that with the navigation here. I'm going to go ahead and give it a margin top. And I'm going to use a negative value in this case to get it to go up and above the nav. I'll use maybe, I don't know, -200 is the starting point here. So it's going to go up. Now you're going to notice as well that the content is going to go with it because the content is relative to the position of the thing that comes before it, which is the nav. So we'll address that content in a moment. Let's just see what's happening with the nav here. There we go. Cool. And maybe that's a little bit too much. Maybe I could back off on the height of that. It really, it depends, right? I mean, if I wanted the nav to be maybe down towards the bottom, maybe I use a smaller value. Okay. If you want your nav to go all the way up, maybe towards the top, we can use a much bigger value. You know, the height of this was 656. So if I wanted to go all the way up, I could use a -656 for that. Maybe I'll do like a -600, just so it doesn't go all the way to the top. There you go. So you've got some options there. Okay. Now the content again is relative to the thing that came before it, which is the navigation. So when you bring nav up, you're going to have to push your content down. Okay. That's going to happen then. No, we didn't define that yet. So that's going to happen with a margin top. Okay. So I'll use in this case like a 600, being that I pushed the nav up 600 pixels. I'm now going to push the content down 600 pixels. There you go. Cool. And obviously you can adjust that value depending on what you need to. Okay. So that is how we can overlap semi-transparent navigation on top of a header. Hopefully that helps. As always, if you have any questions, guys, shoot me an email. Shit.